Hello and welcome along to Aston Villa from the stands. I hope you're well. Big up to each and every single one of you who's in here today. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get involved in the comments, whether that's on replay or if you're live right now. Big up to each and every single one of you. Some of you would have been up at 2:15, 3 this morning, as I was, for St. Louis versus Aston Villa, the 2-1 win for Aston Villa in our first pre-season win. We've beaten the black kit voodoo as well. We've actually won in the black kit, so that's something to be positive about. That's something really positive to be about. And of course, yeah, we got our first win. That's what we've got to shout about. But we are not here to talk about wins, losses in pre-season. We're here to look at the bigger picture. And as I said, I'm not someone who gets bogged down by results. I'll be honest though, 2-1. Yeah, a little bit of a disappointing scoreline. Not going to lie, should have been a lot higher. St. Louis were absolute dog dirt. The goal they scored was a foul on Kamara, but there's still some glaring, obviously, signs, and it links in quite well to what I've said today and what Unai Emery said today. Unai Emery wants more goals shared across the team. He's got a little bit of a shock. Does someone want to tell Unai Emery there's a little bit of an issue with that? Does anyone want to let Unai Emery know there's a little bit of an issue? There's a little bit of an issue. We need to sign more players, first and foremost. And secondly, where are these goals coming from? Because if you want to look something into pre-season, since the big boys are back, it's the same two have scored. Rodgers and Watkins scoring the goals, bailing Villa out. And guess what? They're the boys who did it for us in the Premier League just gone. And guess what? At the moment, they're the boys for me who look like they're going to be the ones contributing. Yes, we've got the rise of Donyell Marlon, who is starting to look good, who is starting to find some form, who is going to prove me right and shut me up. But we've got to ask this question genuinely. Where are the goals going to be shared across? Who is going to share the cross? How are we sharing these goals? It's crazy. It's crazy. We're going to be realists here. We're going to be real. We're going to break through some of the stats last season. Do you know what? I had a little bit of a look before we went live tonight, chat, and I've actually done a little bit of fishing around. I've done a little bit of studying some stats, and I've got to tell you this: I can't believe the lack of goals that were in Aston Villa's team last season. Now we're not on about assists. Unai Emery's not on about assists, by the way. He's on about goals. It's not on about GA. He's on about who's going to contribute with goals to this Aston Villa side. I'm a little bit worried if we go off last season. So yeah, big up to each and every single one of you. Great to see so many comments in. Great to see so many of you here. As I said, we've felt like only a few hours ago I was live here. And by the way, if anyone knew, the watch along last night was absolutely nuts. We had a lot of the regulars in. But we also got bombarded with basically people obsessed with the notion of how many corners were in the game. Now, if you're in another watch along, how dare you? But if you're in another watch along and you experience the same in the chat, then do let me know. But honestly, last night we had basically every gambler from Turkey, Argentina, Spain, who were obsessed with knowing how many corners there were in the game. So crazy, absolutely crazy. But enough of that. Big up to each and every single one of you. Great to see so many names in here. Big up to Brainley, Brian, who's in it, AVSC85, Adam, Duncan. Great to see Gary, Sai, British Mick, Pure Villains in here, Andy. We've got AVP, Gig Sharma in the house as well. Stephen, great to see so many of you. I never missed your name. Oh, PC as well, sneaking in there. Big up to each and every single one of you. And just so I don't miss out as well, big up to Farmy, member for 18 months, one of our own, back of the net. Love to see it. He's one of our own. He's one of our own. Farmy, he's one of our own. Great to see it. But right, listen. We honestly, PC at the back post. We need to talk about this. I'm going to get you the Unai Emery quote right now. And by the way, the camera's a little bit different today. My new camera, again, why there's a slight delay of going live, wasn't working. I was trying to persist. My new camera wasn't working, so I've had to pull the old one out So if I do look a little bit green, which is what it looks like on my screen, then I've got the old one. But look, can I get you the quote then of what Unai Emery said? This is reported by John Powley, who's out there right now. So let's share it up. And great to see great discussions going on already. Exactly what I see. And a lot of you, as I said, are putting faith in Donyell Malen, which is right. But let's have a look at some of these damning stats. Driver issues, yeah, exactly that, Duncan. We'll have a look at it after the show, but I thought I can't wait any longer. That's why you have a backup camera, right? Just like you need a backup striker. Oh wait, we don't have one of them. But yeah, that's why you need a backup. Basically, I'm proving the point to Unai. That's why you need a backup, Unai, because my camera didn't work, but I had a backup camera. If Ollie Watkins doesn't work, where's your backup? But anyway, back to this point. Unai Emery wants to see goals shared more evenly across his team as we move towards the new season. Aston Villa scored 18 fewer goals last season than in 23-24. Only 3 players registering 10 plus involvements in the Premier League, down from 5 the previous campaign. Problems. We thought it was defensive mishaps that were maybe costing Aston Villa. But if you look at that stat there, Aston Villa scored 18 fewer goals last season. 18. I'm shocked. I honestly, and look, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, in this. I don't know how you guys may have felt. Take away statistics. If you watch football blindly, and I really want to know your opinion, chat. Take away statistics. Say there was never these numbers to ever look at. If I was to say to you, what seemed more of the problem last season, defence or attack? What do you think cost Aston Villa last season? Are defensive issues or attacking issues? Now, easy to go, oh, both. But if you had to pick one, genuinely, hand on heart, I would have sat there and told you Villa's defensively an issue. We're defensively. The defence is the problem for Villa. We're defensively a mess. And I still feel that to some degree. I still feel our defence has a lot of mistakes in them. Again, questions. I still think we still are very, very, very much mistakes in our defence. I feel we haven't got a settled defence. I feel like that actually we're vulnerable. However, no joke, and like a lot of you are saying about defensive issues, these stats actually tell me something different. And this is why stats versus the naked eye is really a brilliant discussion. Because this stat here, us scoring 18 fewer goals in the 23-24 season, where we qualified for Champions League, tells me that's the issue. That for me is personally how I read it. That actually we're down on the goals. Now, whether we've actually outdone ourselves in the 23-24 season and scored too many goals in that season and we've gone too high, maybe we've come back to natural and actually then our defensive issues stand. So I'm going to show you another article sort of to further go on to this. I think it's a really good eye-opener because, again, I just want to say I love it when I see these type of comments. Big up to Catalan, who's a new subscriber from Barcelona. Vamos to you. Look, defensive issues, attacking issues, wherever you want. Basically, we could both sit here and all sit here and go, well, we've still got issues. Those stats, and I'm starting to lean towards our attack needs to sharpen up. Our attack is the issue. So many good comments coming in. Let me see if I can get through. How many times did we miss a chance to score first? It's a good point. 389 chances to create 23-24 compared to 355 and 24-25 over 38 games. Big difference there. And then, Adam, if you wanted to break that down even further, What about our chance conversion rate? How many big chances did we miss last season? What cost us was mentality. Has anyone given thought to the fact that our home form was a direct result of the unrelated and rowdy sport? It's like the players need incentive to play. Scary in that sense. Scary. Pure villain. Defensively, I agree, but I feel it's only really confidence. The boys are getting all huge performances. When we won last season, it was used by just one goal. True. I need Bailey to show up another wing, and that's the issue. The attack didn't show up last season, and I'm going to show you more statistics to back that up. Defense goal difference really cost us yet. I agree. Now, have a look at this. And the Barcelona Catalan from Barcelona said didn't know. Marco Asensio went to Fenerbahce. So, if you really want to talk about the eye test versus stats, right? This is where Ollie Watkins, for me, is the biggest enigma of stats versus the eye test. And hear me out here, chat. So many people will tell you that Ollie Watkins had a poor season last year. So many people will tell you Ollie Watkins struggled last season. And the reason we say that is because of the big chances that Ollie missed. We can go right to the opening game of the season against Arsenal, where we lost 2-0 at home. Watkins missing those sitters. Sorry, can I have a coffee, please? Yeah, I've been lucky enough. Heidi's just brought in. I'm on the tea tonight, Si. We had Marmite on toast and tea for our watch along this morning. But yeah, we're getting through. But back to Ollie Watkins. So with the eye test, people will tell you Watkins didn't have a great season. Watkins missed a lot of chances. Some of the statistics potentially back that up. But the one thing I must say about Ollie Watkins is the numbers that matter, goals and assists. And I really felt like, for me, that the Villa attack was doing okay. And I thought it was always a defensive problem. I've now looked at the stats and numbers of last season, and my gosh, chap, we've got some huge issues. And this is why I'm coming to it again. Unai Emery is demanding more. Unai Emery is demanding more goals shared. And I'm saying, good luck. Does someone want to tell him? Does someone want to let Unai know? Does someone want to give him a little prod? Because I want to know what's changing. Because already in pre-season, and this is where I'm coming from as well, already in pre-season, it's the same two goal scorers. Already in pre-season, it's the same two goal scorers. Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins scored in the Eintracht Frankfurt game, and they've scored in this game. The same boys who carried us. When Diaz should have scored, Bailey. I don't think Bailey's hit the target yet this season. I don't think Bailey's hit the target yet in pre-season. So yeah, loving the coffee orders. In the chat, caramel latte, always a go-to, isn't it? Always a go-to. But yeah,
that's our favourite.
That's our favourite as well. But we just got the bog standard tea and coffee. But we do need players in. And look, I do remember earlier in the chat, people were starting to talk about Openda. Come on, guys, wake up here. Villa ain't signing a big name striker unless Ollie Watkins goes. We have to stop kidding ourselves now. And if anyone wants to call Dominic Calvert-Lewin a big name striker, then come on. We're not getting a Openda if Watkins stays. And I know someone who's in the chat mentioned, oh, what about if Garnacho comes and bolsters up our goals? I don't know if anyone's seen the story going around today from Fabrizio, but because Chelsea have got Xavi Simons, everyone thought, oh, Garnacho off. Apparently Chelsea's still willing to pursue Garnacho. Chelsea's business is absolute lethal bizzle this window. So yeah. Right. I do keep saying I'm going to show you an article. Let's read into this a little bit further about what the Don Unai is saying. Here we go. Unai Emery identifies Aston Villa issue, which must be resolved next season. Okay. Well, we can all say there that one of the way to resolve it is sign more attacking players. but we're not going to do that. So we have to go deeper. Good old Unai. Unai Emery admits that sharing the goals across the squad is an area Aston Villa must improve heading into next season. And the reason, as I said, Ollie Watkins and Morgan Rogers have scored all 4 of Villa's goals during the club's pre-season tour of the USA, which concludes with a third and final friendly at Nashville. Now, imagine at Nashville, it's Ollie and Rogers who score again. And by the way, he has yet to play Ollie and Morgan together. We're yet to see Ollie and Morgan together. Hopefully we get to see that against Nashville. Let's continue. After the win, Emery spoke about his attacking options and how each player will have a responsibility to contribute next term. Last season, only Yuri Tillemans joined Watkins and Rogers in reaching double figures for contributions in the Premier League. That's scary. And let's see what he has to say. But let's just remind ourselves, only Yuri Tillemans, Morgan Rogers, and Ollie Watkins had double figures in GA. And Unai Emery, not signing new players, it seems, thinks that goals need to be shared more evenly. But I've watched 2 games now. Good luck. Good luck. He said this, it's important for us, even playing 1 time or 2 times with different, not shape, but different players and mixing players. Morgan scored in the first half and Ollie scored in the second half. For them, it is important. But I want to add more players scoring goals. Hopefully you can do that in the next match against Nashville. Let's read that comment again from Unai. He's actually quite pissed off that they've scored in a way, if you read into it. Morgan scored in the first half and Ollie in the second half. For them, it is important, but I want to add more players scoring goals. Hopefully we can do that in that match against Nashville. Basically, they're not meeting the objectives of the manager. The idea is now more than the result. It's more about the shape we have with the players and how we can get our best performance. Can we just talk about the shape again quickly? What's happened to our magical 3 at the back? The formation that was going to unlock the Premier League this season. The formation in which Unai Emery is going to cook him. Remember, we had all these videos coming out about it. People on X going absolutely nuts. Oh, creaming their pants over Unai Emery's back 3. Come on, people. He hasn't done it. He's done it for the Hansa Rostock game, and that's it. If you're going to do 3 at the back, and you're going to use it in the Premier League, you would have used it by now in one of the American friendlies. If he doesn't do it in the Nashville game or the preceding game against Roma, then what are we doing? Remember, people got jumped up about this 3 at the back. Well, come on. The formation isn't working that but because of the lack of attacking options as well, in my opinion. So yeah. The idea is is now more than a result. It's about the shape. Okay. It is about trying to play, getting minutes, getting confidence, sharing it with the players and how the combination is with the players and how it feels good. Yeah, let's go back to that again. It's about trying to play, getting minutes, getting confidence, sharing it with players and how. What we have seen with Unai Emery is he has used combinations. He has used combinations. What he has done with combinations is the following. With the combinations, he's done Pau Torres and Concert every time. He's done Kamara and Tillemans every time. He's also done Cash and Dean at the same time. So we are starting to see those combinations. I will come to the comments in a minute. But I just want to jump to this one. Big up to my man PC. As I said, good for debate here. So come on, it's pre-season. We're expecting them to have everything dialed in after 3 or 4 friendlies. Ridiculous. Not dialed in, but my point is, Aston Villa fans genuinely believe that we were going to be playing a back 3 because we saw it at Hansa Rostock. And again, go online, have a look at some of the content that was made by Villa, other Villa content creators who are waxing lyrical about how we're going to play this back 3. got to ask the question, PC. We've had 4 preseason games and we played a back three, 1 and 4. The shape isn't changing, in my opinion. And I want Unai to be brave. I would love Unai to go and play a back three a bit more. We need a plan B to be a little bit more better. We need to be able to play a back three in some occasions, possibly this season. And when we play Crystal Palace, especially, we need to match up against them. But I've got to ask that question. I'm not having them dialed in. But what I do want to know is, Emery in that interview talks about the shape. Well, we're doing the same shape as last season, 4-2-3-1. However you want to gloss it up, 4-2-2-2, 4-2-3-1. But the back fours remains. We've played 2 lots of back four in both American games. Nashville, again, I was wrong about Debu playing yesterday. When we play Nashville, if we see Unai Emery go to a back three, then again I go, okay, he's playing with those tactics, good. But yeah, I'm a little bit frustrated that we're not, we're being told that we're going to see new shapes, but we haven't really. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. So let's see what happens. Love the debate about money as well. And again, can we start spend our money? Is very interesting. But yeah, comments like this about it's preseason as well. New players will come. Hopefully. I'm not confident, but hopefully. That's all I can say on that. Hopefully. I don't think we're confident ourselves. I think the idea and concept is that some loanies will come near the back end of the window. But we're coming up to 16 days till we play Newcastle. 16 days till we play Newcastle, basically. And we haven't got a new injection into that starting 11 yet. Newcastle have with Anthony Elanga. We haven't. But yeah, big up to everyone. Loving all the comments. It's a good debate as always. I love this as well. I love this. Look, there are positivity, and please, if you are positive, be proud of it. Shout it from the rooftops. And I love this from PC. We're finishing top 4 of the score we have now. You heard it here first. Buzz him. Love it. Good on you. Personally, for me, I'm worried this season because of this discussion topic tonight. Where the hell are the goals coming from, chat? Where are the goals coming from this Villa team? And if we still have the same defensive fragilities, but by the way, as it stands right now, we've added no new additions to our defence. We're not getting a new right back. We haven't replaced Diego Carlos yet because don't worry now, Lamar Bogard is our 4th choice centre back. What if the goals dry up? What if Ollie gets injured? What if Ollie goes? What if Morgan's goals dry up? What if? Again, it's all a lot of what ifs. But if we go on last season, we can't continue with those numbers. And this is how I feel a little bit. I think my genuine issue I think I'm worried about is I think people think we're guaranteed to finish in Europe again next season. As almost like it's a given right now because we've done it 3 years in a row. And every time I hear about this, we need to get our squad costs down for Europe and hit that threshold and X, Y, and Z. Sometimes we're always preempting we're going to be in Europe. This league's going to be difficult this year. I think this league's going to be really challenging and really difficult. Really difficult. And I want to be proven wrong. As I said, this is the first season I've gone into a Villa season and I'm worried and I'm frustrated and I'm nervous. First season. And the reason I probably feel like this is because of the lack of transfer movement, is because patterns are emerging of Aston Villa. And part of it is the mentality that I've seen in the last couple of seasons when it matters. Chokers, bottlers. can't quite get it over the line in the games and situations that matter. Tottenham and Man United have been in the abyss. Tottenham and Man United have been a shadow of what they should have been. They've got to rise this year. Simply will not be acceptable for Tottenham and Man United to finish in the bottom half of the Premier League again. So that's two other clubs we're fighting for. We've got Forest, we've got Newcastle still, and you've got your Brightons and Bournemouths and Brentfords who all knocked on the door, and people are writing off Brentford, that's fine, but you're still these clubs who, at one stage, Brighton were ahead of us in the Premier League and looked like they could have locked a European spot. It's a tough league, and there's no doubt about it for me. But if by the end of the window we have those incomings and we have that bolstering of our squad, then that's okay. But I've got to show you these damning statistics of last season if you haven't seen them about the goals. I don't agree. It's different than that earlier in there, but you can see it happening. Honestly, Duncan, it's been my stance for a while. I've called it the Villa smokescreen. Basically, if all things go tits up in terms of our transfers, and if all things become difficult, then I genuinely think Grealish is our smokescreen to appease the fans. Or my anger at the fans, who knows? But I think their way of thinking may be that. Their way of thinking potentially could be that. Really, really do think that. Big up to Andy. Big up to Bozzy as well. Gained the new membership from Flabby G last night. So big up to you. But there we go. I envy people capable of optimism. True. Top four is doable short of injuries. And this is the problem. It's that idea of hoping that we don't get injuries because the squad is thin. I mean, again, going into pre-season, Illing Jr. has been appearing on the right wing, the left wing, Jamoa. Riz Barkley and Garcia back home injured. You know what? There we go. I'll take Grealish back 100%. He managed to make Matt Tarek like a good attacking fullback. It's true. Need to sell, but if no one wants to buy, we can't buy Sim. But at least Malin can play across the front three, so we can use him to cover for Watkins. That is the idea, isn't it? For Donyell Marlin. The more I sleep on it, Donyell Marlin is actually now probably a very important cog for Villa to navigate our lack of squad depth. And that's why John McGinn as well is probably one of those players. The dimensional players, the players who can play in a plethora of positions, they are actually key now. Because I'm going to ask you this, Duncan. After this, who comes after that? Who comes after that? Andy saying Bailey's going to contribute. I bloody hope so. Some of the bad teams looking better and improved squad. Spurs will be up there again for sure, 100%. Look, people haven't even mentioned this guy, and that's where I'm worried. No one's come in the chat and gone, Josh, Jacob Ramsey's going to have a big season. Jacob Ramsey's going to contribute with the goals. Does anyone believe in Jacob Ramsey? Does anyone believe in JJ? Or are we sort of customizing ourselves that he's going to be sold? Let me know. Total Spurs supporter, the Sunderland would finish above them. True. PSR is working perfectly for the Cartel 6. It's right into their hands. Sell Ramsey and buy replacements. That's what we should be looking at doing. Can't sell him though, can we? One thing someone told me about, why is Monchi's ability of selling players poor in some aspect? In some ways, good. Yes. In fact, let's deep it. Villa are very good at selling to Saudi Arabia. But outside of Saudi, we seem to struggle. Disciples, I'm sorry, as much as I love this, stands only top four again. Yeah. I agree with PC. It's easy to say it's just brilliant, but the addition of Malin coupled with Rogers playing the centre feels really like, listen, best highlight for me is seeing Morgan play in that 10. And what I loved as well, he basically said to Buendia, get out on that left-hand side first off. The one thing I would say is Emi Buendia needs to hurry up and leave so Morgan Rogers can wear the number 10 shirt. We are a proper squad held prisoner by nonsense regulations. The lion will break free from the cage. Let's hope so. Adam said we just need to refresh our defense, but how, Adam? When we're not signing anyone, how do we refresh a defense that we're not doing? No, who was that from? Brainley Bryant. All sports, right? Whether it's acceptable or not, teams don't feel united now, and Cunha can do it all on his own. Also, still got Onana going. I play Onana before. Yeah, that's true. Onana is a stinker of a keeper. I'm so annoyed we can. Do you know what? Imagine a front four of Cunha, Rodgers. Let's throw in Donyell Marlin and Ollie Watkins. How good would Cunha have been? Or play 2 10s. Play Cunha and Rodgers behind with Ollie Watkins in front. That would have cooked. Grealish would still outdo Jacob Ramsey if he played in a Villa shirt next season with numbers. Grealish's numbers would kick Ramsey's numbers to the floor. But we do need other wingers. Yeah, he is hungry for it. Donyell Marlin's hungry. But again, as Duncan's saying, after Marlin, Rodgers, Watkins, who the hell is next? And it can't be Amadou Onana because he won't get in the starting lineup. Who's next? Because Jacob Ramsey should be the name rolling off everyone's tongue. It's not. He's not. No one is telling me with chest that Jacob Ramsey is going to help with our goals next season. What does that tell you? We also have had little outgoings, Josh. I thought we looked good last night. We have consistency. Every team's around the strip. There are too many what ifs. Yeah, again, and outgoings, actually, and consolidation. This is a really good point. We have consolidated our squad. Our current squad finished in what position last season? 6th. Is this squad good enough to go higher? Is it good enough to consolidate? Is it going to fall off? Because anyone could say, well, if the same squad finished 6th last season, surely we could do that again or go higher. Correct. The teams are strengthening below us and who are above us. And that's what worries me. Then Donkey to help with the goals. Imagine that. Yeah, we need to get rid of him. Monchi needs to call out. He's exchanged notes with Bright. Oh, yes, I did see that, Brainy, now. But yeah, loads of comments. Right. I'm missing so many comments. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Tillerman's being touted to get more goals. His numbers, brilliant last season. Could you give us your top percentage likely transfers? Bloody hell. Tough. We're not linked to anyone. I don't know Garnacho. I thought Garnacho. Give me a day or two ago, I would have put Garnacho as probably the most likely player to come to Villa. After reading the Chelsea report today from Fabrizio, I'm actually worried about that one. I actually don't know. Jack Grealish on loan. Right, have a look at this. I'm gonna have to zoom in on this, I think, for you guys to see it because it's not very big. Right, if you have numbers and stats, here we go. Then this is terrible. You can't even see that on your screen, can you? How do I make this bigger? Here we go. How about this? Oh dear, Josh, what have you done? What have I done? No. Right. Let's try again. How does that look on people's screens? Let's have a look. That's better. Right. Goals and assists. Even to James, who's a listener on his drive home. Big up to James. Drive safely. Have a look at this. Let's just start on goals. Let's not even look at assists. Let's start on the goals. Aston Villa goals. Our 3rd top goal scorer this season, or the season just gone, was John Duran, who played 627 minutes. He played 627 minutes compared to Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins basically played 2,000 more minutes than him. And John Duran scored 7 goals, our 3rd top goal scorer. But remember, Unai Emery wants more goals shared around the team. Of Watkins 16, Rodgers 8. By the way, Watkins won. Oh, we know he could have had a lot more than that. We know that. But let's go further. This is a really good website for stats. The sad situation of Donyell Marlon in 5th place is scary because the bloke had 2 starts and he's sitting in 5th. You've got Asensio, one of our loanees. Big up to PC. We're cooked with the goals. Come on. Tell me what changes here with the numbers. Frickin' Ross Barkley, Mr. Injury himself, with 570 minutes, scored 3 goals. And this is interesting. When you look at these stats, where are the goals coming from? Where are the goals coming from? Josh, your main point that I'm completely on board with is the defence. I'm talking only cash. I mean, the pass on the back about the personality says nerves watch every time. My gosh, when we play a high pressing team, British Met, there's a mistake. Even yesterday, the goal in which Unai Emery wants us to play that way. The goal in which we conceded. But yeah, Duran kept us afloat August, December last season. Truth, people sleep on that as well. It's true. That's why I was happy to cash in on him because I thought, you know what? What happens if he didn't do it for the second half season? Compare Malin time and goals to Rodgers. He already shows he's going to explode this season. Correct in that sense. Correct. He's got to be on the pitch to do it, hasn't he? And played in the right position. But yeah. Don't buy players over 30. We've been written on 200. Yeah. Christ, that is tragic. It's awful. And people want to close their eyes to these stats. People want to close their eyes to that because I'm going to ask that question again. Aside from Ollie and Morgan, and then this had Donyell Marlon, where's the next? Because 3 goals. It's poor. Malin will get plenty goals assists this season. Barkley fit would be first 11 for me also. Yeah, and it's the big is with Ross, isn't it, on his fitness? But look, at the end of the day, let's go to some of these players that I want to really highlight now because we're talking about some of these attacking boys. Mr. Jacob Ramsey, focus him. Jacob Ramsey. 19 starts, 10 on the bench. 1,634 minutes. Again, 1,001 Donyell Marlon. 1 goal, Jacob Ramsey. 1 goal in the Premier League. John McGinn, 1 goal in 27 starts. Bailey, 1 goal for that's just simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. Jacob Ramsey, John McGinn, and Leon Bailey's contributions to Aston Villa last season simply not good enough. And for me, as people are saying, it's why Ramsey, ta-da, isn't it? Malin's going to be good. We need someone on the left. Either Ramsey steps up or get someone in. And everyone knows now that's the position where we have to strengthen that left wing. Have to strengthen our left wing position immediately. And people say, Ramsey, look, 19 starts, enough game time, enough minutes in the tank, and simply did not deliver. We have to get rid of this sentiment of he's one of our own, all this, all that. I'm sorry. So, do you know what? When it comes to my recruitment of our left winger, I need a player who's going to find the back of the net. I need a player who's going to give me 6, 7 plus goals. And then interestingly, Bozzy said the name Harvey Elliott. When I ask the chat and I think of Harvey Elliott, do I think of someone who's going to score 6, 7 plus goals? No, I don't. I don't see him having that sort of prolific profile in front of goal. The two players that really stood out to me for goal-scoring wingers, Ademola Lookman, who's going to Inter Milan, and Paxio, who I think is either going to Marseille or bloody Leeds. Goal-scoring wingers. Goal-scoring wingers. That's what we need. Bayes had one good season out of 4. Yeah, it's not just a one good, one bad. It's genuine. But yeah, Ramsey, the Ramsey goggles need to come off now. People with Jacob Ramsey goggles need to take them off now. If you want Aston Villa to go and finish in the top 4, top 5, top 6, you know we need an upgrade on that left wing. We don't, and Ramsey can be but this is the sad thing, right, chat? Even if Ramsey goes, the lack of depth in that position is scary. I've got people saying to me, well, Ian Maatsen can play there. Don't get me wrong, I think so. But I'm going to ask you this again. Is Ian Maatsen the type of player, have I said to you, he's our left winger? Is he what gets you into the Champions League? Is he what gets you into Europe again? I need to know. Because that's the question we've got to ask ourselves. That's what we've got to ask ourselves. Are these players going to elevate us into Europe? Okay. Harvey Barnes. See, a lot of people turn their nose up at Harvey Barnes. I like him. Yeah, I think, and that's the thing. I think there's, sorry, and I agree. I mean, there's this equilibrium for me as a Villa fan. There is, let's be positive. Let's keep believing. We've come from such a dark place. We're in a great light. X, Y, and Z. You know the spiel. And then there's got to be that place of we've got ourselves into this position. Now we need to stop living like a small team. We need to stop lowering our standards. And I think that's my point here is I'm not going to lower my standards for crap. I'm not lowering my standards to try and say Dominic Calvert-Lewin's a good signing. I'm not lowering my standards to say that Matty Cash is good enough and try and kid myself. I'm okay with Jacob Ramsey being our starting left winger if he stays fit. He just needs that season. I'm okay. Matty Cash has improved under Unai Emery. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm like my owners. I've got ambitions, dreams, like you guys have. But if you're serious about the ambitions and dreams of winning a trophy and qualifying for the Champions League again, can we stop trying to gloss up bang average players? This hype over Emi Buendia because he's playing for Villa in a few pre-season games again. Come on. You may as well throw Dendoncker in there as well. You may as well, if you're going to hype up Buendia, just bring Dendoncker back and go, oh, there's a space for Dendoncker maybe as a versatile defender. That's what people are doing. Because we're so bloody stale in the transfer market, we've now lost the plot and started hyping up things that aren't there to be hyped up. Don't hype up Calvert-Lewin links. Don't hype up Matty Cash as our good enough to be our right back and push us. Don't hype up Jacob Ramsey saying if he has one season fit or just needs it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. But we have to, whoever wears the claret and blue, we're going to back. We have to. But it's those standards and expectations. I don't know what people think on that, but we need a goal-scoring winger and we need it. You can't put all the pressure on Ollie and Morgan. Donyell Marlin is like a new signing, so he'll throw like a lease of life. And what happens if Donyell Marlin gets injured? The irony is I can see that. The irony is I could see Donyell Marlin finally getting his breakthrough, finally looking all good, finally, breaking into an Unai Emery setup, and then I can see him getting injured. I really can. Elliot is too lightweight for me. Don't need another Buendia. Correct. Elliot got 5 goals in 6 games last season. Not bad then. Not bad. In fact, no, that's better than not bad. That's very good. We need better than Ramsey. crap. Bailey fell off a cliff. His attempt yesterday hit the corner flag. He's frustrated because he didn't have great pace and defenders know he's going to attempt to cut inside. We miss his goals. Again, he had that season of confidence. But again, he probably falls into my overhyped, glossing up, hopium optimism category. We've got people out here saying, if Bailey clicks, go back to Bailey's stats across his time at Aston Villa. That one season in 23-24 was an enigma. Bailey scores against Leicester City. Even I was like, and even I said, the season just gone, maybe that will kickstart Bailey in front of goal. Maybe that's all Bailey needed was a goal. He got that goal against Leicester City. He had the cornbread hairstyle. Didn't happen. I love the Buendia comments. I believe Maatsen will be a Dumfries of left. Look, for me, Maatsen's my guy that I want starting left back. Don't want him as my left winger. I don't want to see Luca Dean then Maatsen. What are we doing again? What are we doing with that? Play the crap people. Sometimes a positional change can change player like Joe Linton. That's true. Dave says, I'm expecting Bailey, Mallon, and Onana to contribute more. So this is my debate again on Onana. People saying you want him to contribute more. Maybe you have to be an impact sub, but how does Onana get in our starting lineup? Because all I'm seeing is Kamara, Tielemans, Morgan Rogers. They're my three central players in the 4-2-3-1 or 4-2-2. Where does Onana fit? The only way Onana gets into it is if Unai Emery plays a box and plays with no wingers. And basically, he goes with a Kamara Tielemans double pivot, Rogers and Onana in a box, Watkins and Donyell Marlon as the two. 4-2-2-2, 4-box-2, whatever you want to call it. It's the only way Onana could get into that side. And then it means we don't need our wingers. So maybe that might be an Aston Villa transfer tactic. Maybe that might be an Aston Villa transfer tactic, that we actually stop looking for wingers and we go for more central players. And we basically say, do you know what? We're not playing with wingers this year. There is a world where Villa play no wingers. We play a 4-box-2, a 4-2-2-2, and we absolutely swap the concept of wingers in possession. Yeah, Harvey Barnes is the one. Big up Jonathan and Kate. Big up to Duncan, who said Barnes will sort our left wing issue out fat. I agree. I think he's got an eye for goal, hasn't he? I honestly think we're struggling to get rid of Ramsey, but apparently we can't get rid of him. We've had no bids for Martinez, no bids for Ramsey, and no bids for Bailey. No one's bidded for them. Again, I've got to ask that question to the chat. Whose fault is that? Whose head does that genuinely land on? Whose head does that land on? That Bailey, Ramsey, if you want to throw Emmy, but let's throw Brendan. Why have we not had bids for players? Why are clubs deterred from doing that? We've basically hinted that Ramsey and Bailey can go if the price is right. Yeah, Ramsey's IQ does that down. Question: if you can improve defense or attacking, which one are you picking? Oh, great question, Si. Okay. Attack. Reason for it. The aim of the game of football is to score more goals than the opposition. You never hear someone say to let in less goals than the opposition. When someone says, what's the concept of football? You say to score more than the opposition, never to concede less than the opposition. Unless you really are like a defensive-minded person. I also think in a game scenario and situation, you can always try and outscore an opposition. We could keep winning games 5-4, 6-5. We could be a defensive mess, but we're an absolute attacking masterclass. However, with that mentality, you're always going to have a banana skin where you don't score on that day. and you end up getting panned 5-1, and you don't go and score your 4 or 5 goals. I'd also say from a fan and entertainment point of view, we'd love to see more goals. We'd love to see our attack be more slick. I guess you could also look at it as a car situation. What's more important to people, the exterior of the car or the interior of the car? How it looks on the outside or how it runs on the inside? For me, it's all about the interior. It's all about the inside. So yeah, I think that's a really good question. But yeah, big up Rich. I'm enjoying it. I love these Villa talks. I love the Villa talks. I love being able to come on it, and this is why we have channels, right? To speak our opinion. And look, I I'm a listener of other Villa content creators. And I love what they do. Um, and I find myself disagreeing with a lot of them, but I also find myself agreeing with a lot of them. Um, and for the first time the other day, Luke, who's someone obviously everyone knows Luke from Up the Villa, someone that watch regularly as myself, comes on the channel, good friend of mine. I saw Luke have a little bit of a rant the other day and say, "Come on, what's going on with this Watkins and Openda situation?" I'm going, "Yeah, exactly. Come on, we can't keep glossing everything up." So there we go. But yeah, LT's how people listen. He comments on every single Villa channel negatively. But he's either not a Villa fan or he is. I can't tell yet. We need players that don't crumble under pressure. Cool. And this is what we have. It's better to praise them than slaughter them before the season even started. Cash is not buying out. He's a decent player. Come on. Come on, AVFC 85. As I said, anyone who wears claret and blue, we're going to have to back them, aren't we? Because ultimately, the club badge comes before the name on the back of the shirt. The name, the thing on the front comes before the thing on the back. So I'm not Ollie Watkins FC. I love Ollie Watkins, but I'm not Ollie Watkins. I'm Aston Villa. So I'm always going to want every Villa player to smash it. Hence why I always say, if people like Matty Cash, Jacob Ramsey, Leon Bailey, Donyell Marlin absolutely smash it, and I look like a mug or a clown, as LTs wants to call it, then that's good for Aston Villa. But if what I'm saying with my eye and what I feel does come to fruition, Villa aren't going to be in a pretty position. And I don't want to be right. And this is my problem. Who do you think we should go for? It's not easy out there, but you've got to ask what's our scouting network doing? Where is our scouting network apart from going to La Liga and using some of Monchi's old clubs? Personally, that's what I feel like our scouting network feels like. A little bit lazy. I think I was so ready for Paxel or Adamola Lookman. So ready for it. Hasn't happened. I want a winger who's got a proven track record of scoring 6+ goals consistently 2-3 seasons in a row. Don't care what league either, but a goal scoring winger. That's my sort of filters. And then whoever comes out of that, don't care about age, don't care about sort of experience of divisions, just that filter itself. If we make 2 decent loans, then we'll be okay. It's got to be. We've got to get 2 then. Got to use that loan system properly. Some amazing players out there that clubs with lower reputation than us, but we just signed. Yeah, we're signing. It's again. Let's see. The transfer window hasn't shut, but let's see. Big up to Fraser as well. A legend, 47 months. That's so good, so good. Fraser's coming up to nearly 4 years a member of the channel. I mean, take a bow. That is absolute goat. That's why he's goat, sir. That's why I call him. That's goatish. I take Vardy as relief for Ollie and a very effective super sub on low wages in that front. Yeah. It looks like he's going to end up the Blue Noses though. Josh, what do you think of Bogard? fourth choice centre back, it seems. I feel sorry for him. I don't think he's going to lock down a position. I think that if Bogard moved clubs and got his wish to go to the Eredivisie and play in Holland, I think he would be a starter in the position he wants to play. At Aston Villa, he's basically being asked to be Mr. Versatile, but not start or play many minutes. It's clear he's going to be our fourth choice centre back. It's clear he's going to be Ezri Konsa's deputy, and that's what Unai Emery is going to try and mould him into. Question I got to ask you is, if Ezri Konsa got injured, would you be okay with Bogard starting Premier League games at right centre back? Loads of comments. Yeah, not Forest were linked to Ramsey. They're now linked with Dougie Luiz. Yeah, so on Monchi for not selling on player. Yeah, the Premier League's head, Abramovich owners like him. Yeah. Why would Watkins go to Newcastle? Money, both for Villa, but we'll see. Let's just keep tracking. Have you seen that Man United now have made Benjamin Sesko their priority? So Watkins is not going to Man United now, it seems. So there's only one club left, the Geordies. That certainly is an upgrade, yeah. We should offer a Ramsey and Donkey to Como. Should be happy for him. But yeah, they'll take anyone. Yeah. The Newcastle to Ollie Watkins link is there for a reason. Because Newcastle, like Villa, are being cherry picked. They lost out on Ekitike. They're losing out on Benjamin Sesko. They're going to lose Isak. They're literally having to. They're being nitpicked from clubs above. They've lost Sesko now to Man United. Ollie Watkins, your next bet thing, comes in. Yeah, it's things like that. The Gibbs White thing, I agree on that one. British makes a good point as well, because the players who want to move on are just that, because they're not going to take a sixth place team higher. Hence, everyone around us trying to improve won't see them as a step up either. Impossible to get rid of, right? We need four out and four in. CB right back wing and strike it in. Ramsey, Brandy, and Bailey out. Honestly, I'll be shocked if we get. But yeah, crazy. Ramsey have interest from West Ham, apparently. Yeah, I've seen that one. No, don't know how strong it is. Apparently, but is it West Ham ex-employer, whatever they called, said it's not really going nowhere. It's all on Garnacho again. Like, we've got big hopes on Garnacho, and the more I look at it, is I've got to now watch what Chelsea's doing. I'll be absolutely gutted if we land Nicholas Jackson. Visa told Brentford he wants to go. Would be brilliant again, but I think he's things out our price. I think we won't be able to do what we want to do in terms of the money of him. So yeah. But yeah, do smash the like button, people. Appreciate that. Do subscribe as well. Bogard has to be our utility player, but I do feel sorry for him. I really feel sorry for Bogard. Imagine sort of being known that you're not going to be really a starter. Do you think the lack of action in this window is the sacrificial lamb for the following season to allow for greater spending? Safe in the knowledge the current team have gained European football. But my thing is with that British Met about being a sacrificial lamb is, say for the next season, what if we're not in Europe? What if we don't qualify for Europe? That's the drum I'm sort of looking at. What if we don't get Europe? Then we've hit ourselves hard 2 seasons in a row. Watkins is not going this season. If we get Samu, they can have Watkins. Again, Samu coming in as a direct replacement for Ollie Watkins just sucks. And he's a lot as well, Samu. There we go. CC's come up with a few names in there. Ant would be happy with Bogard Deputy Consul. Love that. Ease up for mega money. It's all right, ain't it? I hate to think what they're going to do. I hate the fee that's coming Newcastle's way for Isak. Poor Josh looks so dejected. Pausing on reflection. Let's see what happens. What will happen come the end of the transfer window is where I'm just going to let full steam. I'd love Ruben Loftus-Cheek. What a player. Big up to Luca. We should just buy a pen and Dumfries and take whatever punishment. Exactly. That's the drum I've been by. Just take the bloody fine. Take the fine. But yeah, great shout. I think Unai believes we have enough. This is my thing. I think Unai believes we have enough. I do too. I think we'll cut. Where are you feeling then, Britt Smith, position wise? Where are you feeling? But yeah, I feel like us and Newcastle are very, very similar. I feel like no one wants to sign for us. I feel like no one wants to sign for us. I feel like we're getting absolutely handcuffed by PSR and now SCR. And I feel like the clock is ticking. And I swear down, if we end up losing out on someone like Garnacho, who I thought was like a dead cert, then I don't even know. I don't even know what happens next. I don't even know what happens next. Real talk. Got no clue. No clue. No one can sit here in this chat and tell me who they're confident Villa sign. This Pau Torres to Al Nassr stuff, I don't believe for a second. Yeah, this is just coming about West Ham and Jacob Ramsey. Let me just quickly let me just show you this. West Ham currently have multiple bids in for players. Blah blah blah. Another could be for Jacob Ramsey. Reps from West Ham were in talks today. Okay, they're a bit more concrete, are they? They're a bit more concrete. So it seems that West Ham are in talk. Oh my god, that's such a West Ham signing. Jacob Ramsey to West Ham is two peas in a pod. I see that happening. I see that happening. Ramsey to West Ham, 100% I could see happening. I see that happening. I really do. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Don't care if Pau goes, to be honest. Only care that it leaves us shorter than we are now. Yeah. Yeah. West Ham go down this season. Oh, West Ham actually going to do well. Southampton's buying our Garnacho. That'd be good. Yeah. Let me just show you the Garnacho news, just so people are aware of what I was talking about. Ari Garnacho. Got to find it now. By the way, Tottenham have made a really good signing, João Palhinha. Remember he played at Fulham, then went to Bayern. Here it is. Chelsea want both Xavi Simons and Garnacho. They're two separate topics, and it's not either one or the other. Both are wanted from Fabrizio Romano. This is crazy. I genuinely believe that it was going to be if they signed Simons, who was leading the race, then it would be Garnacho to us. But yeah, that's just greedy from Chelsea. Absolute greed. Absolute greed. But yeah, there we go, people. We are going to wrap up very shortly here. Big up to each and every single one of you. Yeah, I am sat frustrated again of things to come. I'm sick of seeing. I'll put it this way: I'm sick of seeing the greedy cartel six sign. Even Man United linked. Spurs signing, Chelsea signing, City signing, Arsenal signing, Liverpool signing, everyone's signing. But then Sunderland are going nuts. Leeds are starting to kick on. I'm sat there, I'm just going, why not us? Why not us? So let's see what happens. Let's see where we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see if and when Villa bring people in. You know, it's starting to worry me. End of July, still no concrete additions. We've got another month. Okay, but let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But yeah, shout out to everyone. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for all your time this evening. Thank you for again your engaging discussions. And yeah, let's see what happens. Do a Liverpool and splash the cast next season qualified channel. Yeah, it is the way it is. Let's just spend. F the rules. Let's spend and see what happens. But bloody up the Villa. Thank you to everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. Whatever. Yeah, let's go again tomorrow. See if there's anything new to discuss. And of course, before we know it, we'll be back playing another preseason game. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Luca Talks Dons, up the Dons and all that jazz. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Have a good one. Love your comments, love your discussions. Whether you agree or not, it's been a blast. I'm out of here. Ta-da.